Hey, what up, y'all? I'm back for another spiritual discussion. My bad I didn't upload yesterday or the day before. I was getting my hair done and then I recorded a video yesterday, but the sound was way too loud. I didn't want anybody blowing their eardrums out. So I actually came up with a new video discussion instead. This one's going to be about shadow work or the lack thereof. Um, Man, there's a lot of people in the quote unquote spiritual community that aren't doing their shadow work. You feel me? Um, it's very obvious because they have this sort of superiority complex over everybody, which is really just a projection of how they feel about themselves, which means they have insecurities. They have insecurities that they have to make up for, so they try to act like they're some sort of spiritual master. But people who actually do the work can see right through, because there are stages that we all go through to where we do have insecurities like that, and we do feel the urge to want to make that up by giving people a false sense of who we are. But you evolve past that if you really want to be a better version of yourself, you will evolve past that. You will keep on going back into the closet and taking out your skeletons. Um, People who aren't in it for just the aesthetic of spirituality, like wearing crystals and head wraps and all these things, that's not what spirituality is about. Spirituality is about getting rid of your programming, shedding those layers, and figuring out who you are. Because when we come into this world, we are who we are, but people tell us something different. People tell us to be something different, like we're just going to be workers, or we have to listen to our mom and dad, every single thing they say. We have to become this personality that people want us to be. But when you have your spiritual awakening, you begin to realize that you don't want to abide by those rules anymore. You don't want to be this image of what people want you to be, what people want to paint you to be. And then you have to rediscover yourself. You have to take the time, stay with yourself, even turn the lights off. Turning the lights off is really good for shadow work. But turn the lights off, sit with yourself, go inside and be like, all right, what do I actually like to do? What music do I like to listen to? I know for myself, I had to get rid of rap if I wanted to evolve. Rap had to go if I wanted to evolve. I'm sorry, but that the type of music I was listening to, yeah, I had little bits of game in it, but it's low vibrational. It's just low vibrational, and it's not like the R&B in the early 2000s or anything like that. I just had to get rid of it because when I look upon spiritual masters like said guru and stuff, and they always talk about all of these amazing mystical things that you can do with the human potential. I just wanted to get there. I wanted that. So I knew I had to shed layers of myself away because I knew that I took in a whole lot of a lifestyle that isn't conducive to spiritual evolvement. And you have to come clean with yourself about these type of things. You can't shy away from yourself. You can't shy away from yourself when it comes to doing your shadow work. Who are you hiding from? Who are you hiding from? It's just you and your higher self. You don't have to be embarrassed about yourself. That says a whole lot about where you are spiritually. And that'll become a projection that you use against other people later on. You will have so many insecurities. You're gonna lash out. You're gonna you're gonna make other people want to feel a certain way because you feel that way. It's just not good. And these type of people are lingering in the spiritual community, pretending like they did their work. And that's sad because we're supposed to be the truth. We're supposed to be the ones that defy religion and tell people that God is within yourself and to figure out who you are because God created you as an individual, as an individual consciousness, not as AI. That's what we're battling right now. We're battling the consciousness of AI. The true people, the true, you know, the real truth tellers, the people who really want to bring an authentic world, an authentic reality, and get rid of this cybernetic bullshit, People who want to return to the old ancient ways. We're supposed to be those people promoting being your authentic self, but there's a whole lot of us who just want to be on top of the spiritual community, who just want to look like some sort of master so that they can get benefits. And that shit ain't cool, bro. But you know what? This is 2025. This is the completion year. So all of that is going to come to a completion, and we're going to see who really did the work. Because certain people are going to get certain upgrades, and certain people won't had they not done the work. You can't cheat around this. There's no cheating this. You cannot run from God. You cannot run from yourself. Because you are God. You know, and there's just a lot of evil spirits working through people. A lot of people don't have their auric field cleared out. They don't do their breath work. They don't do their meditations. I started getting into Kundalini yoga. That really balances me out, straightens up my spine. I feel so relieved. And hold on one second. I'm bad, I'm next to the road, but I love finding new things that just make me feel like I'm getting somewhere new. Like I just did some more techniques today from the Law of One Inner Christos on called the Inner Mentor technique, where you put your there's a whole lot of steps to it, but really you're awakening your sixth and seventh senses. And man, it's so cool because I can see from perspectives that I couldn't see from before. And it's like I can just feel myself getting, progressing. People don't I don't get people who don't want to actually progress. They just want to pretend. Actually progressing is a lot better feeling than having to pretend like you are. And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people do that in this era is pretend like they're progressing in life. But progression looks different to people. Progression looks way different to people. Each individual has their own idea of what progression is supposed to be. To me, if you aren't spiritually progressing, you aren't progressing at all. You're just running the rat race. And yeah, you may have millions of dollars, but how did you get those millions of dollars? Did you have to sell your soul? I look at things spiritually because that's our immortal souls is the most important thing. They are everything. And a lot of people want to run from their shadow work, but the reality of that is you're gonna have to come back here if you don't. If you don't do your shadow work, you're gonna have to come back here. It doesn't matter what you look like to other people because spirits can see you for who you really are. You can't lie to a spirit. So when you go to the halls of a mentee, they're gonna look at you and they're gonna see all the lies that you were telling, and they're gonna see that you made no progression at all. And you are gonna have to live another life on Earth. That's not gonna be me. I wanna ascend. I wanna go to 5D. I wanna see all the mystical creatures and things like that. I wanna be able to fly. Well, I wanna do all of that stuff. I wanna see like the deeper spiritual perceptions of reality. But Not everybody thinks that way. They think materially. Very physical minded people in the spiritual community. I tap in. I watch certain people. Certain people I like, certain people I don't like. But I just wanted to make this video because I just want to tell anybody who's watching, it is never too late to do your shadow work. You will thank me later. Just do your shadow work. I know it's to get over that hunch to first do it. I know it sucks, but just do your shadow work. You'll feel so much better about yourself. You'll feel so much secure. You'll feel like you got superpowers. Like when you walk into buildings, people are just gonna look at you because you're refracting light now. Because when you do your shadow work, you start to peel away those layers and you start to radiate light, a spectrum of light you can't see, but it's a spectrum of light that people can pick up on. And you're gonna be like, damn, why is everybody looking at me? Because they sense your light. You did your work. Congratulations. Now you're some sort of fucking. Now you're just like a damn superhero to them. They don't know why, but it's because you evolved. You evolved. But yeah, that's about it.